Hello everyone, welcome to the first PUC online classes of Gopal Swami PU College, Mysore. I am Suma, economics lecturer. In today's session of part A of first PUC economics, that is statistics for economics, let us learn about the histogram. That is under the chapter the presentation of data, we are learning today about formation of histogram. That is how are we going to draw this histogram for the frequency distribution of continuous series. So, this is a form of diagrammatic presentation of the data and it is drawn on graphs. So, today let us see what is histogram. Histogram is a set of adjacent rectangles whose height and width. It is a set of adjacent rectangles whose height and width are proportional to the class frequencies and to the width of the class respectively. So, it is a set of adjacent rectangles. So, they are closely joined to each other. These rectangles are closely joined to each other and their height and width. The height of these adjacent rectangles are proportional to the class frequencies and the width of these adjacent rectangles are proportional to the class width. So, it is a form of presentation of the data which displays large amount of data in a simple manner. So, large amount of data can be understood in a simple way and it even helps the layman and even the undereducated and illiterates also to understand the data that is displayed through this diagram. So, histogram is a very important tool in the presentation of data. Let us see an example for the presentation of data through histogram. So, this is the problem. This is the question that is asked to you in the examination. That is, present the following data through a histogram and also calculate the mode, because histogram helps to locate the mode also. So, the question is present the following data through a histogram or in the form of a histogram and locate or calculate the mode. So, they will give you in the question it is given, that is class is given and as well as the frequencies are given. So, the classes are 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 and 40 to 50. So, they have given 5 classes and as against them 5 different frequencies are mentioned. So, the class interval here is 10 and classes should be converted into exclusive method if it is not given in the exclusive method. Here in this question they have given in the exclusive method only. If it was 0 to 9 and then 10 to 19, then we would have converted it into exclusive method and then we would have made it as 0 to 10 and 10 to 20, but it is already given in the exclusive form of classification. So, there is no need to change this into exclusive method. So, frequencies are given. So, once we see the frequencies, we should see the lowest frequency and the highest frequency. When we see these frequencies, first we should see the lowest frequency, that is 10, and the highest frequency is 17. So, the range is between 17 and 10. So, then we have to decide about the marking of these frequencies in a graph. So, here I am explaining on the blackboard. You can even use a graph sheet or in an ordinary white sheet you can mark this in the form of histogram. So, now we have taken 2 lines. One is the vertical line and the other one is horizontal line. Horizontal line is the x-axis and here we have the y-axis. On the x-axis we are marking the class intervals, that is the lower limits of the class intervals. That is, first we have marked the origin, that is 0, then 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, 50 and 60. So, after this we have to decide the frequency intervals here. So, since it is ranging between 17 and 10, I have taken the first one as 5, then the second one is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So these should be having equal intervals. So now we should mention it on that graph. Whatever the scale we have taken on the graph, we have to mention it above the graph only, that is on that graph only. Here x axis, here 1 centimeter is equal to 10 units. It is just an approximation. I am not drawing it according to the scale, but when you are drawing, you should draw it according to the scale. So it is y axis, that is in the case of y axis 1 unit or 1 centimeter is equal to 5 units. So you can see 5 equal intervals after each number. So now let us locate the first one, that is first one is 13. So 13 is in between 10 and 15. So 13 will come after 10, 11, 12, 13, somewhere below 15, and we have marked the number 13 here. So this is the first one, that is the first frequency is marked on the graph as 13. The second one is 17. So for 10 to 20, it is between 10 to 20, it is 17. So we should go above the 15. So somewhere here we have to locate 17. So 17 is somewhere here, and we have put a line and we have joined this. So it is joined here with, so it is joined here. Next one is, we should go to the 17 is marked here. The next one is 15, exactly it is here, and we have marked 15 in the between 20 to 30 we have marked 15, and the next one is 12, just above 10 we have 12, we will mark 12 as this, and the last one is 40 to 50, and there we have the frequency of 10. So 10 is here and it is marked here. So here you have the histogram. So histogram is the graphical presentation of data with the help of adjacent rectangles. So here you have to mark the class frequencies. We are asked to calculate the mode. So for that we have to draw two diagonals. The two diagonals which join these lines. So the left line is from here to here, and the line towards the right is from here to here, and we have the mode located in this place, that is location of mode in this place. So now we have located the mode, that is somewhere after 15. So it is not just in the mid between 10 to 20, it is just after the mid value, that is mid value here is 15. So after the mid value we have located the mode. So now let us check about the value of the mode that we have located with the help of a formula also. That is, let us calculate the mode with the help of a formula. In statistics, mode is denoted by the alphabet Z. The formula is Z equals L plus D1 divided by D1 plus D2 multiplied by C. So Z is, L denotes lower limit of the class. The highest frequency of the series is 17 and the mode is located between 10 to 20 and the lower limit of the class is 10. So we have mentioned 10 here. So then after that, the difference between the previous value 17 minus 13, the D1 is difference between the modal value with the previous value. So the mode value is 17 minus 13, the previous value, and that is D1, and 17 minus 13 is again divided by 17 minus 13, that is D1 divided by D1 plus it is added with D2, that is the 17 minus the next value, that is 17 minus 15. So 17 minus 15 and multiplied by the class width, that is the class interval. Class interval is 10. So now let us see the difference between 17 minus 13 is 4, and below that again d1 plus d2 is there. So 17 minus 13, that is again 4, plus 17 minus 15, that is the next value after 17th. So 4 divided by 4 plus 2. You all came to know that how did we obtain these 4? 17 minus 13 is 4, and again 17 minus 13 is 4, plus 17 minus 15 is 2. So the lower limit is 10. 10 plus 4 divided by 4 plus 2 multiplied by 10. Then we obtain 10 plus 4 divided by 6. 4 plus 2 is 6 multiplied by 10. Now let us see about this, that is 10 here we have the lower limit as 10. 10 plus 40 divided by 6. 4 into 10 is 40. 40 divided by 6. So 40 divided by 6 is 6.66, and Z equals 16.66. 10 plus 6.66 is 16.66. So therefore the mode value is 16.66. Mode here is 16.66, which is already located after the mid value of 10 to 20, that is 15. It is located near 16.66. So this is the form of a histogram that can be used to present the data in a graphical way. Now let us see about the drawing of a frequency polygon. Frequency polygon can be drawn on the histograms. So with these adjacent rectangles, by using the midpoints of these adjacent rectangles, we can mark the frequency polygon. The frequency polygon is a device used to display the cumulative frequencies. So you all know that the class here is between 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 and 40 to 50, and you all know the mid values also. So the mid values are here between 0 to 10 it is 5, and between 10 to 20 it is 15, 20 to 30 it is 25, 30 to 40 it is 35, and 40 to 50 it is 45. These are the class mid values. So you know the mid value between 0 to 10, and we started from the origin. So the mid value is here, and we just put a line here, and the mid value of this is here. We go through this, and the mid value of this between 10 to 20 is here, and we draw a line here. The mid value between 30 to 40 is 35. So we came here and we drew a line here, and the mid value between 40 to 50 is 45, and it is drawn here. So this is called as the frequency polygon. So this is the frequency polygon. A frequency polygon is drawn on histogram to display the data using the class midpoints. And for the same data we can draw the frequency curves also. It is just an example. We can draw the frequency curve without preparing the histogram also. A frequency curve is a freehand smooth curve which is going according to the data that is mentioned. So it is called as a frequency curve. Frequency curve is drawn by marking the mid values. Somewhere here you can find the mid values of the class intervals. So all these mid values are, after the drawing of histograms, these mid values are marked, and then frequency polygon is marked on them. But the frequency curve is a freehand smooth curve which can be drawn on graph using the midpoints of the class values, using the class mid values, and even this also will give you the same detail that the frequency polygon gives to you. As the frequency polygon with the scale, if we had done like this, it would have come like this, but the frequency polygon has come like this, that is, but the frequency curve is one which explains the same data in the form of a freehand smooth curve. So, this is called as the frequency curve, and this is called as the frequency So, frequency polygon is one which is drawn by using the class midpoints, and frequency curve is a freehand smooth curve which is drawn just above that by using a freehand smooth curve. So, end up today's session with a thought, that is, the thought for today is every accomplish starts with a decision to try. As you all have heard about that, every journey starts with the first step. Every accomplishment starts with a decision to try, and we have to be determined, and that decision is going to be accomplished with the help of our devotion and determination. So, we have to be determined towards our goal, and whatever may be the obstacles that come in our way, we should go by tackling all these obstacles, and we should accomplish our goal, because it is not that easy to make our dreams come true, because there are lots of struggles and obstacles on the journey. So, if we have to achieve our goals, we have to chase the dream, and in the way of chasing our dreams, we have to undergo lots of trials. So, by winning all these trials one by one, we gain confidence, and this confidence leads us towards success. So, with this, I conclude today's session. Thank you.